Hello dear students, so we are in the discussion of magnetic force. Already we come to know that when the charge particle is moving along with the current, magnetic field is also produced. It means that moving charge can exhibit that magnetic field. From that Oersted experiment, it confirms that whenever the charge particle starts moving from that one point to another point, along with the current, magnetic field is also produced. If there exists a magnetic field, means there will be a magnetic force. We got that expression for that magnetic force even. So F is equal to QVB sin theta. When this force is maximum and when this force is minimum, if the velocity of the charge particle is 0, what will be the force? All such aspect already we discussed in last class. Now my question is, if the charge particle is moving, what are the forces exert on that charge particle? As I said that as the charge particle is moving from that one point to another point, magnetic force is acting. So not only magnetic force, one more force is acting on the charge particle due to the motion of the charge particle. What that force here? For example, in that electrostatics chapter already we discussed about that electric field here. When the charge particle is experiencing the total force experienced by the charge particle is because of two field here. Look at here, when the charge particle is at rest position, electric field is present. Now when the charge particle is under the motion, magnetic field is also present. It means that the charge particle experiencing both the force, means the charge particle experiencing total force, both that of electric field as well as magnetic field. The total force experiencing by the charge particle due to electric field and magnetic field, that force we can call it as Lorentz force. So what's that force name here? The charge particle experiencing a total force. That total force experienced by the charge particle is due to electric field and as well as magnetic field. Because of electric field and as well as magnetic field, the charge particle will experiencing a total force. That total force experienced by the charge particle due to electric field and magnetic field, we can call that force as Lorentz force. Lorentz is the name of the scientist. He given that the total force experienced by the charge particle. Let me discuss about that Lorentz force here. So in today's session we will be focusing on Lorentz force. Lorentz force. What's this Lorentz force here? Lorentz force means the total force experienced by the charge particle due to electric field and magnetic field. We can call that force as Lorentz force. Let me define about that Lorentz force. The total force experienced by the charge particle the total force experienced by the charge particle due to both electric field and magnetic field. Due to both electric field and magnetic field is known as Lorentz force. Lorentz force. What's that force here? That force is Lorentz force. The total force experienced by the charge particle due to the presence of electric field and magnetic field is known as Lorentz force. Now I want to give that mathematical approach for this Lorentz force. As I mentioned that the total force experienced by the charge particle due to electric force means F of E I will take. Magnetic force means F of M I will take. Wait a minute, I will check out here. Okay, fine. The force experienced by the charge particle due to electric field and due to magnetic field. We know that basic things. Electric field E is equal to F by Q. F is equal to, shall I take it as E into Q? F of E is equal to E into Q, whereas magnetic force, maximum force, the charge particle is moving perpendicular to the magnetic field, means QVB sin theta, or Q into VB I can consider. I can take that QVB here. Okay, look at here, I got that F of E value and as well as F of M value. Let me substitute these two values in equation 1. Put equation 2 value in equation 1. If I do like so, I will get the total force experienced by the charge particle, E into Q plus of QVB I can take. Okay, let me simplify this equation. In these two equations, charge is common here. Q I can take Q into E plus of VB. So this is the required expression for the Lorentz force. What I said about that Lorentz force? The total force experienced by the charge particle due to the presence of electric field as well as magnetic field. Due to both electric field and magnetic field, this charge particle experiencing a total force. That total force F is equal to Q into E plus of V into B. I can write this equation in vector form. In vector form. Okay, in vector form, vector F is equal to, charge is scalar physical quantity, Q into vector E plus of V cross of B cross. So this is the vector form of Lorentz force. So did you get my point? What is that Lorentz force here? The total force experienced by the charge particle due to the presence of electric field and a magnetic field, and this is the equation for the Lorentz force. Now here the confusion will get starts. In case of moving charges and magnetism, the most confusing aspect is direction of the current, direction of the magnetic field, direction of the force here. So if you understand that clear picturization about that direction of the current, direction of the magnetic field and direction of the force, we will use certain kind of laws here. So what are the rules I can consider in order to get that direction of the current, direction of the magnetic field and direction of the force? Let me consider now. So hope you understand these things. From that, means from that introductory part, from the moving charges, we come to know that from that Oersted experiment, a moving charge can produce the magnetic field also. That statement is given by Oersted experiment. After that, we got that what is the definition, basic definition of magnetic field, SI unit for the magnetic field and all such thing. As the charge particle is moving perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, then we got that expression for the magnetic force. Then if the charge particle is moving, means it experiences that total force. That total force is responsible for both electric field and magnetic field. Up to this one, I think, hope you clear about these things. Next we will be focusing on what will be the direction of the current if the charge particle is moving, and what will be the direction of the magnetic field if the charge particle is moving, and what will be the velocity of the charge particle, and what will be the direction of the force I can consider. In order to understand the direction of current, direction of the force and direction of the magnetic field, let me understand certain kind of rules here. So hope you get these things. We'll look at next. Okay, now we'll look at the direction of the current, direction of the magnetic field and as well as direction of the force on the basis of Maxwell-Cork screw rule, and another one is Ampere right hand thumb rule and Fleming left hand rule. So let me understand one by one. In case of Maxwell-Cork screw rule, Maxwell, he given that rule to find the direction of the current as well as magnetic field. He given that explanation for direction of the current as well as direction of the magnetic field. How shall I take the direction of the current and the direction of the magnetic field on the basis of Ampere-Cork screw rule here? For example, take this is one screw here. So the tip of the screw I can take. This screw advances the direction of the current. Screw advances the direction of the current means screw is moving upward direction, or if you are going to make it a rotation in a clockwise direction, it will comes in a downward direction, right? This screw advances the direction of the current. Look at here, this screw advances the direction of the current here, and whatever the rotation you are supplying here, that rotation represents the direction of the magnetic field. So look at here, this screw advances the direction of the current and that rotation represents the direction of the magnetic field. Let me show you one screw here. For example, look at here, this is one screw. Okay, so this is one screw here. According to that Maxwell corkscrew rule. Maxwell corkscrew rule. So for example, here I will take one screw here, and this screw, tip of the screw I can take it here. This screw advances the direction of the current. For example, I am giving that anti-clockwise direction rotation. I am giving rotation like this. If I starts rotating, means this screw is moving upward direction, right? So that advances the direction of this current here. That in case of Maxwell corkscrew rule, that screw advances the direction of the current, and I said that I am rotating here. So I am rotating means that rotation represents the magnetic field. For example, if I am rotating the screw like this, screw is moving upward direction. So this represents that upward direction or forward direction represents the direction of the current, as well as rotation of the screw represents the direction of the magnetic field. Look at here. I want to understand that direction of the current as well as direction of the magnetic field. Screw advances the direction of the current as well as that rotation represents the direction of the magnetic field. So first point you have to remember here, screw advances the direction of current. Screw advances the direction of current as well as rotation represents the direction of the magnetic field. So rotation represents the direction of magnetic field here. Look at here, that screw is moving forward direction. So if screw is moving forward direction means it is rising up. So that if it is rising up means so that is the direction of the current. Now I am giving rotation in this anti-clockwise direction. This is the direction of the magnetic field and this is the direction of the current. Look at here, I want to understand the direction of the current as well as magnetic field. So if you are rotating in a anti-clockwise direction means, so direction of current is upward direction and magnetic field is in this direction. So that is about Maxwell corkscrew rule. Now one more rule is there. In order to understand that ampere, means in order to understand the direction of current and as well as magnetic field, that rule is ampere right hand thumb rule. What's that rule? Right hand thumb rule. So according to this right hand thumb rule, I want to hold the conductor in a right hand. For example, I want to find the direction of the current as well as magnetic field. These two rules will give the direction of current and magnetic field. In case of ampere right hand thumb rule, hold the conductor in a right hand. So this is right hand. I'm holding that conductor. Treat this is one conductor. I'm holding the conductor in a right hand. Now after holding the conductor in a right hand, this thumb indicates the direction of the current. So thumb, what it represents? Thumb indicates the direction of the current, whereas these folded finger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Did you get my point? Look at here, from that ampere right hand thumb rule here, first in order to understand the direction of the current, so imagine that I am holding the current. So if the current is flowing, you can't hold that wire here. So just imagine that you are holding one conductor here. Okay, after holding the conductor in a right hand, so this thumb indicates the direction of the current, whereas folded finger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. For example, if I hold like that, this is the direction of the current, this is the direction of the magnetic field. So look at here, in case of ampere right hand thumb rule, thumb indicates the direction of current. What that thumb represents? Direction of current, whereas these curve finger or folded finger indicates the direction of magnetic field. Look at here. For example, this is one conductor. I am holding that conductor in a right hand. Okay, look at here. So this is the direction of the current, whereas folded finger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Now this from Maxwell corkscrew rule and as well as from Ampere right hand thumb rule, I want to find the direction of current and as well as magnetic field. So which rule is convenient? You have to use that rule. So for my view, so right hand thumb rule is very much convenient to find the direction of current as well as magnetic field. Hold the conductor in a right hand, thumb indicates the direction of the current, whereas folded finger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. That's it. Next one, Fleming left hand rule. For example, I want to find the direction of the current, direction of the magnetic field and as well as direction of the force. From these two laws, we won't get that direction of the force. Now I have to find that direction of the force even. In order to find the direction of the force, I want to use that Fleming left hand rule. What's that Fleming left hand rule? So first I will take that, first I will use that left hand here. For example, first I want to stretch that first three fingers of the left hand in a perpendicular direction. These three fingers are in perpendicular direction. Look at here. First one, this is perpendicular for this is perpendicular. First three fingers I am stretching in a perpendicular direction. Okay, now after stretching that first three fingers in a perpendicular direction, this is thumb, this is forefinger and this one is middle finger, right? Now I can find that, by taking use of these Fleming left hand rule, thumb indicates the direction of the force here. So direction of thumb, so thumb indicates the direction of the force, whereas forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, whereas middle finger indicates the direction of the current. Look at here. First you have to stretch the first three fingers of the left hand. Thumb indicates the direction of the force. What that thumb represents here? Direction of the force, whereas forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, whereas middle finger indicates the direction of current here. Direction of current. Force is F, magnetic field is B, current is I. I want to get the direction of FBI, force, magnetic field and current here. Now I am stretching that first three fingers of left hand. Now after stretching, for example, this is F, force, this is magnetic field B and this is current here. Look at here. If I stretch like that, FBI, force, direction of magnetic field and direction of the current. For example, in any conductor, if that current is flowing, for example this is 1 hour, current is flowing here, so this is the direction of the current, this is the direction of the magnetic field and this will be the direction of the force. In order to get that direction of force, direction of magnetic field and direction of the current, I am using Fleming left hand rule here. What's that Fleming left hand rule? Stretch the first three fingers of left hand mutually perpendicular to each other. In which manner I am stretching that fingers here? All three fingers are mutually perpendicular here. Thumb indicates the direction of the force, whereas forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field, whereas middle finger indicates the direction of the current. Hope you get that. Direction of current and direction of magnetic field and direction of the force I can understand on the basis of Maxwell's screw rule and right hand thumb rule and Fleming left hand rule. So hope it clears.